Hey folks, welcome back to the MTG Sunday Jank-Off. Sorry for the delay in beginning, but we are here and we're ready to brawl, standard brawl, because we're standard folks around here. It is the end of Dragonstorm. Final Fantasy is coming shortly, and so we are continuing the tradition on this channel of ending each set with two commanders from the set facing off. So I'm going to ask my friend Albino Cheese Monkey which commander he has picked, and what is his deck's name.
Ben, if there's one thing you learn reading the lore of Tarkir, and Abzan specifically, it's that they're all about family. Family, ancestry, and more than that, it's about what you leave behind when you're gone. In fact, not just what you leave behind, how you can continue to help once you've left. I'll be playing Abzan under the commander, the leader of the Abzan clan, Felothar. She leads the Abzan clan in the colors green, black, and white, for those who do not know. And there will be a lot of death. But worry not, for our clan Martyrs, that's the name of the deck I worked at NC, their sacrifices will not be forgotten.
All right, sacrifices indeed, which is what Felothar does on ETB. And I am playing Kotis the Fang Keeper. So today we are keeping Fangs and taking names. I'm kind of proud of that one. It's Voltron. You kind of have to build Kotis as Voltron. So we're going to Volt that Tron. And hit our opponent and steal their cards. Yeah, I know. All right, our opponent is on the play, which we don't want to see.
I am going to take my free mulligan.
That's right. You get free mulligans in Standard Brawl. We'll be back to Standard again next week, folks, with the release of Final Fantasy.
This looks good.
All right.
Are you ready?
I think so. I got a sketchy keep, but...
I notice I'm fully decked out and ready for today because I love Abzan, and I have loved them since the day that Tarkir was released. And, yeah.
I can't compete with this level of bling.
My passage, so fabled.
My mortuary, it's underground. Which makes sense.
I have, sometimes I have a penchant for spending my gold on cosmetics when I go to the store to get rid of that notification, which is exactly what that notification is for. So they get me. They get me. They get me in there.
They get you good.
This is...
Your basic.
What I would call a very good start.
Free booty.
Yep.
Yeah, my start is... It's coming. Oh, that was not the land I meant to play. Oops. Fast turn. It shouldn't matter.
I want to see what you've got going on in there.
All right.
Audacity. Can't be blocked. Thran power suit. Staggering size. Wow, that's a start, huh? Well,
that's the deck.
Hold on, I gotta look at your commander again real quick. X is the amount of damage dealt. Okay.
I'll look at yours for the viewers.
Here's a nifty little
Tarry.
Little card. Sure. I'm actually gonna go out to battle here.
All right, we are embattled, folks.
His sacrifice will not be forgotten. I don't want that right now.
Well, the good news is we're still at 25 life, and our opponent has no creatures on board.
He's good.
Oh, that's...
I am, however, at 5 mana.
5 mana? What could you possibly do at 5 mana?
I only need 4 of it.
We're getting sieged.
What do I want for 4 mana? This is a good choice, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Let's go ahead and get this. Let's get this. This is a pretty good start. There's your guy.
My start is it's turn. That's what the deck's supposed to. Well, really, the deck wants to do a turn 3, but doing what it can. There's the guy. He's just a 2/1 for 4 mana. How good could it be? You get a 3/3 for 3 mana.
True. He's indestructible too.
It is a pretty good keyword. Doesn't actually accomplish anything here, but the block happened.
I have a... Indestructible means board wipes might not work, huh?
Destroy all creatures wouldn't work.
Yeah. Let's do this. And this. And yeah, that should be good for now.
All right, I'm going to start this party by drawing a card.
Okay. And he can't be blocked.
Can't be blocked. Then we're going to make an audacious play.
Ooh. Righteous.
We're going to pick up a sword. We're going to put on a suit. And it's time to swing.
Okay.
Take 9.
Yep.
Giggity.
That's a lot of good stuff.
I'm not going to have each player sacrifice creatures. How do I want to stack this? I think we want...
So you could spell
So what do
cast
we want to
everything
resolve
that
last?
you found, right?
We want this to resolve at the end. This to resolve at the in the end. Oh, I can cast Omens with Codas. I didn't know that. This shouldn't matter. We should get this going. We should get this going. We should do this. And then we're going to decline that. Alright, folks. So when we deal damage, we exile the top X cards of our opponent's library, where X the amount of damage
now I have to ask
we dealt.
you, now that you've seen a significant chunk and played more of it than I have, how do you like my deck?
Maybe I should have had Elspeth resolve sooner, because I would have doubled tokens on some of these. Oops. It's going well so far.
No, really. What do you think? Good stuff, right?
Yeah. I like these tokens. What do I do,
Now,
Elspeth?
here's
Do
the
I need
joke,
to resolve
Ben.
it?
Once again, I've built the deck solely for the purpose of putting Case of the Stash Skeleton in it.
Well, I'm sorry, but I took your case.
It's true. It's true. You're on my case. All right. Well, that was unfortunate, but I'm not done yet.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a wipe.
Yeah. Yeah. Wipes are really fun in this deck because I don't lose quite as much as the other person in most cases.
It's going to be true. Though you will be losing a lot of stuff. It's just not on your side of the battlefield.
Yeah, yeah.
But it looks like you'll retain a bat and a bot. Bots and bats.
Well,
Again, if you Day of Judgment. You might have something else.
I'm trying to think what I want to do here. Well, I can't let you have that.
Guess we just double block here.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this.
Yeah, it's possible I shouldn't have blocked it all, but this is still lethal. You'll still need to wipe. And I'll still have Codis to do it all again next turn. Okay. I think we can probably do this. I would like to introduce Fire Shrieker.
Boy, do a lot of my removal cards say the word destroy on them.
Nice thing is we get to do this twice. Actually, we only get to do it once, really, but... You're just dead, right? I don't need to cast all these?
Oh, you're gonna do it. You're gonna like it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click all these. I'm gonna bitterly triumph. I'm gonna play a medic. I'm gonna analyze some pollen. I'm gonna whatever. I'm gonna Infenza. I'm gonna Dread Knight. I'm gonna Market Gnome. I'm gonna tell you to get lost.
You know, I'm not sure I win any of these games without sideboarding.
You have exile removal in black and white somewhere in your deck, don't you?
Nope.
What? No?
Nope.
Why? No exile removal?
I didn't run into Indestructible or, I forgot that Codis was, Indestructible.
I know that's false because you have Dusk Rose Reliquary right here.
Oh, that's fair. I just put that in 5 minutes before the episode. I forgot it was in there.
You can even tutor it with Bright Glass Gear Hulk.
Listen, I learned a lot there. I learned a lot. And I did
so, because we bet to...
And I did forget to put I did forget that I put Dusk Rose back in there. I waffled on it, but I put it back in there 5 minutes before the episode ended. Or started. Because I was like, I want another 1-mana removal spell for my Gear Hulk. I totally forgot Codis was a... Now, notably, we did know what commanders we were going to be playing, but I tend to avoid teching strictly against you.
Same.
This deck is tuned very much to, well, whatever the version of the is it called the play queue in Brawl? So sometimes Brawl we play.
The Brawl queue.
The Brawl queue, yeah. The Brawlicule.
No. Yeah, same. I would, against your deck, I would pack some sweepers and more protection spells.
Half of my removal is sweepers, just because the amount of go wide strategies I ran into in testing was all of them. All of the decks were go wide strategies, actually, and all of them had green, every single one. But it's hard to know because I'm testing with different commanders, and as people may or may not know, the commander you choose affects the matchmaking in Brawl. So.
Yes, other cards in the deck also do that, but the commander's weighted very heavily.
I will once again take my free mulligan. I'm going to take another mulligan.
I think we got to keep here. This is not ideal, but it's probably going to work.
This isn't good, but I can't afford to keep mulliganing.
Man, Brawl is hard.
I know.
It's like,
this deck.
What are you supposed to do
for anybody
when you want to see a card?
This is for anyone wondering. This deck, if you want to build it, it is quite fun and it does perform quite well on the Brawl queue.
I I, 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 I think I'm going to whack some bush.
Makes sense. 'Cause, Makes sense. 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 Makes sense.
possible I shouldn't have kept that. We just might. Our next turn might not be very exciting.
1 second. It looks like my stream might be performing poorly based on the bitrate. See if I can
The
do something
stream.
about it.
Well, keep in mind, folks, we're both streaming, so if you want to be able to see
That's
both
right.
hands, just pull up both
If mine is
streams.
performing poorly, please, I beg you, go pull up Ben's stream and watch from his perspective.
There's also that too. I'm Ben or Break, YouTube and Twitch. You can find me.
Okay.
The main difference will be whose hand you're viewing and music choice, so you can just mute one of us.
Let me see if... This will help a little bit. We'll put the game in potato mode.
Man, why aren't there any potato cards in Standard?
I know.
Are there any potato cards in Standard?
Not that I know of. Alright. I feel like I've had almost exactly the same opening play here.
Well, we'll see if it works out for you this time.
What's actually going to kill me this time? Not being able to block is a problem. But so is trample. Staggering size. Target creature gets +30/+3 and gains trample. Target gets +30/+ trample. Hexproof. And indestructible. Now, why are you playing a 4 of that one, Ben? That one's strictly better. That's a joke. Don't answer that question. Alright.
Notably, I am playing a Brawl card, Longstock Brawl, in Standard Brawl.
That's good.
So exciting.
That's good. I think I just have to go at you now.
But the invasion...
Listen,
It's
the
so
invasion
good.
is off. We're drawing cards. Because I need to get some answers to when your guy hits the board next turn. Assuming you don't miss a land drop.
You know I have lands in hand.
That's
You
true,
looked.
I did just look at them. But you might
Well-
decide not to play one. I don't know. I don't know what's in your brain.
I'm going to decide to play my 4th land,
Oh, okay.
and it's tapped.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're saying there's a chance.
I actually have seen 2 answers for Codas in your deck already.
But not in my hand. Not in my hand, right?
You shouldn't tell me that. You really shouldn't tell me that.
Oh, I'm
This
asking
deck is
you.
very one-dimensional.
You mean in the way that you... Alright, I have an idea.
Okay. Fellow here, fellow thar, fellow round and every war.
Now, I'm gonna do this. Notably, I know I lost a bet, but I don't actually do any less damage here.
You kind of cashed in 1 power for 2, in a way.
In a way, yeah.
In a way. Okay.
There's the guy.
I'm here. I'm just going to keep some fangs.
He's not hasty. You took a lot of names
No.
last game. I'll give you that one. No, wait. Taking Fangs, keeping
Fangs, taking names.
Fangs, taking names. Okay.
He's the Fang Keeper. Fortunately, no, folks, I'm not running Fang Keepers familiar in this deck. We should do the deck breakdown after this game.
Oh, we totally forgot. I got so excited to get into another game and try to solve this mystery. Alright. He doesn't have Death Touch. I don't know what it is about me that made me think he has Death Touch. Seems like something
he's
he
got
would
that vibe,
have.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he does have that
Soul
vibe.
Tie, snaky vibes. All right. Man, Felothar's art's kind of neat.
Yeah, she's real cool. You know, a lot of people don't like the Abzan armor, but I wasn't around for the first arc here, so all I saw was purple. I love the color purple. That looks sick. I guess the the face on the chest plate is a little weird, but you know, I like the color scheme.
I'll be honest, the armor is the least favorite part of that for me, of that artwork for me, but I like the the background and everything
At
a
this
lot.
point, I will go ahead and try and get this. And I love sacking my heaped harvest.
That's a nice synergy.
It is.
Because it cares about being sacrificed.
It does.
It intends for you to do it with the ability on the card, but you can do it in other ways too and still get the trigger.
That's right.
I'll block.
Okay.
Alright, Gobakan has been invaded. still at 19 life.
I don't think Gobakon actually hasn't appeared in any standard legal set, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, there's definitely some planes introduced in the March of the Machines battles that have not previously appeared.
From what I understand, many of them were in something I don't understand, like a side adventure set. Someone who knows, please comment and explain, because I'm just going to stop talking because of the little amount that I know about this. Alright, you don't have trample yet. You have it in your hand, though.
I have a gift for you.
A Brawl?
No, a fish. I'm using the Brawl to gift you a fish.
Okay. Well,
would you like it?
I don't think it's worth. No, I'm just gonna.
If you pop that light shield already, you don't get the fish.
Yeah, I'll take the fish. That was probably the wrong play because you're about to get 5 cards, but I don't think I've ever played against a Voltron deck before.
It's not really a thing in Standard, is it?
Yeah, no. I know that they exist, but it always made me uncomfortable trying to play them because a single removal spell out of the 12 to 14 in a person's deck seems like it would just end it.
Oh yeah, this is like way outside my wheelhouse. Okay, so let's try to get this casting.
Right, I gotta remember to be good for the viewers and look at my exiles.
What do we want? What do we want to resolve last? We want this to resolve late. 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 We can resolve this anytime. And I don't think we want to pay the spree costs on acquisition raid, so we're just going to resolve this first. I'm going to decline to cast that. Destroying all tapped creatures. Oh no! My commander is tapped.
Oh no, whatever will you do? Oh, I should have popped my...
Be
Actually, no, there's a
indestructible.
reason that I didn't do that, believe it or not. Believe it or not. Oh, shoot! Ben, I wanted my commander in the graveyard. We sacrificed for nothing.
You don't have raise the past wouldn't do it.
No,
no. Graveyard.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's a funny thing.
Dewdrop Cure? No, that's powered. That's 2 or less also. I don't think you have Rise of the Dark Realms in your deck.
No, that would be funny though. What do we do here?
Well, to be fair, folks, putting your commander in the command zone is not a bad habit to have.
No, it was absolutely habitual. There's a very, very niche specific case in this deck I put in where I want him to go into the graveyard. Well, the other one where I don't put him in the command zone is if he gets unsummoned, he's going to be a lot cheaper to just recast from the hand than he is the command zone.
You're not running Parination, I assume.
No. I get 1 thing here. I get 2 things here. I get 3 things here.
You can get all 3 things there. That's a non-zero number of things.
It is. So let's take out...
Want to destroy my draft?
Your... No, I think I'm going
to
take your... I'm going to solve your case. I'm going to exile your graveyard. Cool card, okay. Tranquil Frillback. I think I just opened one, like, out of nowhere as a card reward. And I looked at it and I was like, that's a cool card.
It's a cool card. I don't have any because it's kind of hard to open cards from March of the Machine Aftermath.
Yeah, I got lucky.
All right, what do we do here, folks?
For those wondering why I wanted him in the graveyard, you can look at my hand now.
All right. Well, you're doing graveyard stuff. I'm not exactly sure what.
Maybe I'll transform Tarian's journal. You don't know.
I'm gonna overly protect my guy.
Makes sense.
I think I'm having fun, so I'm gonna pump 3x Tyvar stand into it also.
Ooh, look at you go.
Spin the wheel, folks. All right. I
don't think
we can.
Not a lot of great stuff there for you. I don't think.
No, but it's free stuff.
It is free stuff. Notably, the highest cost card in my entire deck, Ben, is, well, you'll see after deck tech, but it's 5 mana. So.
I did see a 5 mana card already.
Yeah, it doesn't get
bigger.
bigger. It doesn't get more than that. It's a pretty low curve.
Okay. Behold your army.
All right, that's a good draw.
And one snaky boy. I guess it's a zombie warrior.
How many mana will I have left if I do this? 1, 2, 3. Well, I kind of have to. Sacrifice 13.
Yep, that's one of the answers I saw in your deck. Let me just make sure I have something I can cast in hand. I don't think it'll get around that. 13 creatures is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right.
Edict.
Cotisn't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do have enough to recast him, though. That will be the only thing that you do, notably. You get all of those beautiful triggers from the deaths, though. They all defected to clan Sultai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay, let's see what we can do, folks. We can do this.
Plane chase. Sorry. That's what I was thinking of. I think a lot of these, I know that came out of nowhere.
We tapped badly.
I think that's the side thing that I don't understand. There was like an alternative format called Plane Chase where they printed a lot of plane cards. Notably, I think that's where Muraganda came from.
That's true.
Yep.
All right, folks. I needed to watch out for Mistrise Village. The auto tapper likes to leave that up, and we didn't want blue mana here. Or did we? Maybe we have Spell Pierce.
All right, I'm gonna cast
Counterspell. Or
what do I sacrifice here? Anything? I might actually not sacrifice anything, believe it or not. All right, Codis,
okay.
Come at me. Look at this, Ben. We got nothing but an open field with 2 clan leaders, and you know what else? If you look closely at the background, we're playing on a battle map set in Tarkir. I got one clan on one side and your clan on the other. Oh, he's flying.
Got wings. Actually, yeah, we can do this. Or this. This is not a very impressive amount of power and toughness. But double strike is good.
Is there anything I want to do here? Not really. Not much I can do.
Our innocence will endure. I actually kind of don't really want to cast that. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Why is that?
Because if it dies, it'll go back under your control.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
But was kind of hoping to hit another one of your little weenies off this second hit, so and draw a card. But that did not happen.
Did you get all lands there?
Yep, 3 lands. Hope you didn't need them. Looks like you don't.
No, I'm good.
All right, pass turn. An offensa. Your lineage is unyielding.
So unyielding. Okay.
Inoffense is a card that reads like really quite strong, but has just not made any impact in Standard whatsoever.
No, it's I just play it because I like it. And if it was ever gonna be in a deck, it works in a deck where in a sack deck. If it was ever gonna be in a deck. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going all in. Here. Okay. Oop, hit the wrong button. On what, you ask? On
it's
a little
not Genesis
guy
Wave, surely.
called the Market Walker.
Oh, we're walking, folks. Yeah, sacrificing that's pretty good.
We are gonna sacrifice it.
No, he just came into this world.
I'm gonna hold Anafenza back. We're gonna draw 4. We're gonna endure 2.
That's great, but what's your plan for not dying?
To draw an answer.
With what mana?
Oh, that double strike is permanent, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, he's as long as those things are attached, he's got flying and double strike.
I'm gonna go fast.
And +1/+0. Okay. We're just gonna do some combat research.
Okay.
We're gonna get Swift. Got some Swifty boots.
Get Swifty with it. Hello, Hayden. We are playing Standard Brawl. So if you're familiar with the paper format Commander, it's kind of like that, but it's 1 versus 1 instead.
Yep, and cards limited only to the Standard format.
That's right.
And deck size is 60.
And again, if you want to see my friend's hand, Ben, you can look up Ben or Break on Twitch or YouTube, and he is also streaming, and you'll be able to see from his perspective. I don't think that card's going to do a whole lot for you. I mean, I'm already dead. Almost.
Yeah, you are already dead, but...
oh, right, because that was first strike damage, right? Okay.
I'll just do some bad manners and...
Well, I can just concede.
No, second hit. Here it comes. There won't be another clip.
That's right. I was worried about another trigger.
All right, let's go to deck tech, folks. Would you like to go first, Albino Cheese Monkey?
Sure. I'll pull it up.
All right.
So today we're playing Clan Martyrs. You know, I'm not going to go 60 card by card. I'm just going to try and give you the gist here. We've got several things. We've got our removal packages. I tend to favor board wipes in this deck because they benefit. I actually obtain some benefit from my creatures dying, whereas the large majority of my opponent's creatures will not. And I do face a lot of go wide when I'm testing. I do have some targeted removal. Mostly I'm trying to get removal that is flexible. Things like, let's see here.
Get Lost.
Get Lost, yeah. Get Lost is flexible. It can do an enchantment, a planeswalker, or a creature. I like Dusk Rose Reliquary. Can do an artifact or a creature. And I'll pick out one more about the board wipes. Board wipes are mostly creatures here. But in any case, so that we've got that going. We got token generation and things like Lord Skitter Sewer King, the almighty Elspeth Stormslayer. Ben, who are you sick of me playing this card yet? I like it a lot.
Not yet, but it's a very good card. We may have an Elspeth brew coming soon, right, folks.
And then we've got more Dollmaker's Shop, another token generator. We've got things that like dying. So let's talk about Market Walker, which draws cards when it dies. We've got a Market Gnome, which draws a card when it dies. We've got Nest and Bot. Most importantly here is if I want to be able to sacrifice my creatures but still have creatures to put the counters on, because if we look at Fellow Thar, when something sacks, when he enters or she enters or attacks, we put +1/+1 counters on everything. So things like Nesting Bot are really, really great in a deck like this, because they die and then they immediately come back with a counter on them in a different form. We have things that like things dying, like Anafenza. And notably, if we look at Fellow Thar, she can also sacrifice non-land permanents, so it doesn't just have to be creatures. So we can run things like Heaped Harvest, which will ramp us when it gets destroyed. Mephitic Draft, when it lets us draw a card. And things like that. So if you want to take a closer look at the actual deck list without needing to go through card by card, the link should be in the description on YouTube, or you can just search up Clan Martyrs or Albino Cheese Monkey on Moxfield. It should be in there now. Notably, we also, in these colors, get access to some neat tutors, like the Bright Glass Gear Hulk from Aether Drift, which lets me go and look for 1 mana artifacts, creatures, or enchantments, of which we have plenty. That does also include X costs, like Market Backwalker. Good to note. Beseech the Mirror, a very powerful one. You saw me play in the first game, going straight from Beseech the Mirror to cast Gear Hulk for free, getting a 4/4 on board and 2 more things to cast. Very, very cool things like that. We've got other good token generators like Beza the Bounding Spring, which can help you bounce back and give you some more tokens. And the thing I was trying to pull, Ben, on you is a really silly little combo wherein instead of putting him back in the man zone, I will let Fellow Thar go to the graveyard so I can cast Season of the Burrow to bring her back with an Indestructible counter on her.
Hey, you could have an Indestructible commander too.
That's great. So we're hoping to see that once. It's just a particularly silly thing, because the commanders, especially when they're must-kill on-site ones, which most of them are, tend to get rather expensive. So if you can continue to cast them for cheaper, that's nice. So that is the deck. For the lands, just some basic, all of the good dual lands that don't come in tapped, as well as a Raceway, because I forgot to take it out, honestly, because there was a time I was running Gas Guzzler hitting here, but it ended up being a bit too slow. And Great Aershan City, which is a land that can generate tokens by exiling creatures from your graveyard, which there will be because you're killing them. It's really a deck that focuses on, my favorite type of deck. One that, an accumulation of value, and one that doesn't really care so much when your stuff is getting blown to bits. Albeit it does care if they're getting exiled, which happens quite a bit, so... That is the Clan Martyrs, and we are here to die.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, but I am not here to indulge you, because we have, no removal in our deck. That's not quite true. We have a couple fight spells, but they're fight spells with a purpose. Let's take a look at Keepin Fangs, taking names with our friend Kotis the Fangkeeper. So unlike a lot of the decks I play on this series, this is not Value Town. This is not flexible control archetypes. This is a very linear, single game plan, do or die kind of deck. And we don't usually die because Kotis is indestructible. And that kind of lets us build the rest of our game plan around him. What does Kotis want to do? He wants to not be destroyed, connect with the opponent, and deal damage to win the game. We win the game by just casting our opponent's stuff, or punch with Kotis if they have crappy stuff that isn't worth casting. So how do we accomplish that? We need evasion to make sure Kotis connects. We need protection to make sure Kotis survives effects that get around indestructible. This is effects like bounce, like return to hand, effects like exile removal, effects like sacrifice creatures. That particular one is a bit of a weakness of the deck, admittedly, but it's also not a very common effect in the format. The only ways we have to get around sacrifice is playing our turn 1 Llanowar Elves, using Defend the Rider to create a 1/1 pilot creature token at instant speed, or playing our Carsey Revenant. These all have other purposes in the deck. The Carsey Revenant can give flying and lifelink to Kotis, both good things to have on your Voltron commander. The Defend the Rider can give our commander hexproof. And Llanowar Elves can ramp us into Kotus a turn sooner. We generally do want to cast Kotus a turn sooner, but I didn't go too heavy on ramp aspects for fear of diluting the rest of the deck. So Llanowar Elves, Arcane Signet, and Ancient Cornucopia are our main ways of doing that. Cornucopia, you wouldn't think it ramps into Kotus because you play it on 3, and then if you make your land drop, you'd be able to cast Kotus turn 4 anyway, with or without it. But it lets us hold up 1 mana protection. Protection like Spell Pierce. We can use a Duress. We can play Combat Research for Ward 1. We can Defend the Rider for Hexproof, Giant Growth for growing our guy. On and on we go. Hexproof, protection from, it cannot be targeted, stuff like that. We have a preponderance of 2 mana, +3/+3, and gain trample effects. Overprotect is the best of them, but there's also others like Staggering Size, Medical Strength, and we have plenty of artifacts and enchantments that grant flying as another form of evasion. Firestriker is a spicy little double strike option, as is Leyline Axe, which can come into play on turn 0 with its Leyline templating. Lands are very simple. We're running none of everything except for forests. I really didn't want to run 2 forests, but we needed the extra land. This could have been a perfect deck with only 1 of everything, even lands, but 2 forests. Sorry, folks. We do have Glimpse the Core, which fetches forests, so we do want some forests in our deck. And that is how we're going to keep those Fangs and take those names. And our opponent's cards. We mostly take our opponent's cards. All right. Let's have another.
All right. You're sending
a friendly brawl. Now, this is a friendly brawl.
That's right.
Says the challenge.
Right.
It's a good thing we're friends.
We are.
So some things we're not running that we could in these colors. We're not running a counter spell besides Spell Pierce. We really just want that 1 mana, get rid of something non-creature, because that's just to protect our commander. That's it. We're also not running board wipes. We plan on just evading the enemy and killing them with their own stuff. We don't really care about clearing the board. We just care more about doing the thing faster. We do have some little bits of removal. Pick Your Poison is nice against some of the enchantment-based effects that can effectively remove commanders, either making them unable to attack or block, or by changing their name, or doing other cheeky stuff like that. So it does have its applications. It's mostly here as a protection effect, though you can also use it as removal for artifacts, enchantments, or flyers.
Take advantage of the fact that it's going to take you a couple turns.
Well, I'm going to speed that up by 1 turn because our Herd has an heirloom. I forgot about Herd Heirloom as a ramp option.
And I've just noticed...
You've noticed the Kotus.
This plan isn't going to work. Well, it'll work. Because I don't have a 3rd land. Thankfully, I can remove my own Menace Skeleton to solve the case. Where did the skeleton go? Into my graveyard. And we draw land.
Oh, well, that looks like that worked on all fronts then. What do we want to do here?
It didn't go in the graveyard. Actually, where did it go? Where do tokens go when they die, Ben?
I think they do technically go to the graveyard. They just don't stay there. They're removed from the game instead.
I didn't draw a solution, so I'm going to go get one. Be right back.
Okay.
Into the deck I go.
We didn't have protection in hand, folks. We knew it was possible that he'd be able to tutor for something like...
Unfortunately, I don't
Reliquary?
have... Yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah, you can sacrifice Tyrion's Journal to Reliquary.
We will sacrifice the journal. Now, notably, in Commander, this doesn't get stuck under there. So you just get to put that back in your zone. But that does buy me a little bit of time. Oh, really? Okay. It does buy me a little bit of time. I'm going to put out the Market Gnome.
Okay, we really didn't want to see that.
Why is that?
No! Why is that, indeed?
Is the bottom a bit too big?
Man, I had in the back of my mind that, with that 1 mana you could play Barkerback Gnome. I I'm not going to show you yet, but come on over to my stream if you want to see my hand, folks.
Okay. Does it have something to do with a 2-mana black instant?
No 2-mana black instance here.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just get this going immediately.
That's a pretty good card. There's a certain 2-mana black instant I would like to have to answer that. I think we're dead. I'll show you the card.
Thus is the way of the Brawl. Oh, okay.
Market Gnome is an artifact. If that had not been played, the reliquary gets sacrificed. So I will just... would you like to spend several turns beating me down, or...
I would. It would make me feel better.
Okay. Pass turn.
And then people get to see some of the synergies in my deck also.
Alright, just don't take too long.
Okay. Shouldn't take.
Make it quick. End my misery.
Let's pop off. Should I sacrifice my reliquary? No.
I don't know if I feel better or worse than losing to my own hubris. I think it would have been fine if we just returned to command zone. Elspeth would have been tough. But we got good pieces on the board.
Give me one more turn. Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot about Iron Gag. That's another bit of early ramp that we have. Good stuff. Not going to help us here.
Yep.
Notable for our, again, some of this ramp, Herd Heirloom can grant trample if it's not ramping, and Ironclad can be turned into an equipment if it's not ramping. So these are both things that we want our commander.
I do have a willing sacrifice. Well, I don't know if willing, but definitely a sacrifice.
Yep, this looks pretty lethal, folks.
All right, look at that. Your solitary game plan didn't come together, and I got to beat you down. There, see? Proof that my deck does things.
Yay!
Yay! Alright.
Alright. Let's go one more.
Yeah, I think so. I'm having fun. Now. Well, it was a pretty silly thing to see. Honestly, the first time was fun. Second time hurt a little bit, Ben, honestly. And then that time I was like, haha! You don't like to see your friends playing your deck? I do, actually. Notably, there's a format in Keyforge called Adaptive. Again, for those who aren't aware, I play a game called Keyforge quite a bit. It's a game where you don't build your deck. In fact, you just open a deck, oftentimes blind when I play at locals, and you just play it as is. This looks fine, question mark? But the point is there's a format called Adaptive wherein it's a best of 3 format where you play against each other, then you hand your deck to the other person and they play it. And then you sort of bid a handicap for the game 3 if you make it that far, based on the power levels of the deck, because you can't decide the power level of the deck until you've played it and seen it. Very interesting. But that's what that reminded me of watching you play my deck. All that to say.
Okay, I see your signet and match it.
Mm-hmm. You sign it. Does that get around indestructible? We'll find out. Not now, but soon. I think it does.
Interesting.
Alright, I can go ahead and play this. I'm not... In this deck, I'm not really ever going to choose not Sultai, so I'm kind of stealing your thing here.
I had the choice between Abzan and Sultai, and you chose Sultai?
That's right!
I will take that as a compliment.
It's the better mode, honestly. Okay.
Felothar's here. Tremble in fear. The value!
The value! You know what? I'm just gonna keep the hits on coming, make sure I don't miss any land drops.
That pollen's getting analyzed so hard.
It really is.
Did you find it? You found a pollen plains.
That's right.
All right. I'm just gonna keep some fangs.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that real quick. I think this should take care of it. Correct? I probably should have spent more on it, given you might have, like, snakeskin veil.
Giant growth.
Giant growth, yeah.
It works.
Alright. Very cool card. Glad I'm finally playing it.
Alright, folks, we're gonna have a tough decision to make this next turn.
I actually want all this stuff. Do I want all this stuff? You know what? The talent's not doing anything for me right now. I'd rather draw a card. Did you see that? That was called a decision.
Alright, well, this is how the deck works, folks. We're tapped out. If our opponent has another answer, then we're in pretty bad shape. We're in pretty bad shape. Thankfully, our opponent also does not have a board.
Yeah, I probably should have attacked there, but I got too excited.
Okay, we're drawing pretty well. We're gonna Crag. We're gonna Shriek.
Then, if I do end up winning this one, which is still not certain, we will have to play one more.
Okay.
Because we'll be.
What if you don't win this one?
Right? Then you'll be the undisputed Power Giant King. All right, I'm gonna do my little trick. All
right, well, we get to see that at least.
Really? Give him some sack fodder. And notably, it gives him sack fodder, which is nice. Very cool card for this deck.
Bunny season.
Go get some more lands. I do run.
Right, we want
quite a few basics in this land, but
we want to draw a land, and we did. Let's tap. Tap. Do we want to transform that?
That's interesting. I don't think I've seen you play Ironcrag, but I've never seen you transform it.
This is the one deck where transforming is actually a reasonable thing to think about a fair amount of the time. All right, so as far as I can remember, oh no, Scavenger Regent reshuffles, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the Scavenger Regent.
I'm gonna hit this for 5.
There's okay, that's fine. You can hit that for 5. There's what's it called? The artifact, Dusk Rose Reliquary, that can also take care of Kotis. The value.
Probably should have taken the Market Backwalker there, but I haven't seen any exile removal in your deck yet, so. And he's a big boy.
Yeah, Walker's pretty sweet, and Felithar, you can just grow it until you need to sacrifice it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this Brawl deck. This is one that, you know, when I'm feeling the Brawl urge, I'll keep this one around. I mean, I only had one other Brawl deck that I play seriously. A Kutzil deck called Jungle Cats.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take my 6. How much can you pump it, though? With 1 mana? Well, with
3 mana.
Let's do both. Just in case.
Draw your cards.
here's what we're gonna do. I want a token. Do I have a way of getting one? I do.
Why would our opponent want a token specifically? Just to sacrifice? Okay, the token has been sacrificed.
How much mana do I have? 1,
Quite a lot.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's enough. But we can go into this. I feel like I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now, I'm gonna be honest. Tutoring for my thing, which tutors for the thing.
Reliquary.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the ward 2. I can cover that. I'm gonna sacrifice my signet. I should still be able to pay the ward 2.
Looks like it.
Spell Pierce makes me pay how much?
2. But it's too late for me to spell pierce anyway.
Okay.
At least spell pierce the reliquary. Maybe you have something else you want to play. All right.
Proof.
X proof.
My last basic.
Yeah, basic.
Alright, let's get some booty in here.
I don't know about this, folks. Oh, that's some real booty. This case of stash skeletons is a little scary. We kind of need to draw well.
This thing is... I can't believe I did it. I finally did it, Ben. The whole point of this deck was to get you to finally accept the case of the stash skeletons was scary card.
Okay, that was the point. Oh, okay, then less scary now.
Yeah.
Well, this was a good draw.
8.
I don't know, folks. We might just have to go for it.
You got death.
If I do that... No, that's not worth it. So I would like to introduce you folks to the mix of Death Touch and Trample. Throw some First Strike in there also.
Oh, yeah. Introduce me too, right? You only had to assign 1 to each, didn't you?
So the rules for blocking are that you have to assign lethal damage to a blocker.
Right, yeah.
The rules for Death Touch is any amount of damage is lethal.
Still, that's 3 less cards.
Okay, these are good hits.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We want Beza to resolve first. And Elspeth to resolve last, I think. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment. Yeah, we'll just do it in this order.
That is a really fun piece of flexible removal in this deck, especially since it's actually relatively cheap to cast all modes for 4.
Okay, which did I target? Okay, I targeted those. We'll target that too. And we'll get ourselves a Beza also to draw us a card. And this time I will transform the Iron Crag. Oh, we're still in the combat step. Here we go again. Does any of this matter when we resolve it? Split up might matter. We're probably not going to cast it, honestly, though. Do I even cast Enduring Innocence and Mousewood Dread Knight? We kind of don't need them. We could draw cards. Journal. I was really hoping to hit the the board wipe dragon there.
Yeah. You are
this is gonna be
technically
fun.
making me more likely to draw it, but I might just be dead here anyway.
You're not going to be dead this turn,
Yeah.
but you're going to be very dead. Actually, you know what? I don't think we're worried about the board wipe dragon anymore.
What I really need is Blasphemous Edict still in my deck? No, it is not. Okay.
Sacrifice another artifact or creature, draw a card. Activate only as a sorcery. Yeah, I think we're fine. Oop.
I like it because it's free. A lot of the non-creature sacrifice something, get something cards that I saw were like pay 1 mana or 2 mana, and that one was like, hey,
Yeah.
just do it for free. Okay, that's Brawl playable, I think.
Yeah, I think the activate as a sorcery is the downside
Yeah,
there.
the downside.
A lot of sacrifice stuff you want to do in response to removal, but the journal you can't.
I don't think I have an answer to your 19 power Cotus.
Blasphemous Edict would work, but I think you
in
might
my
have already
grave.
spent
That's in
that.
my grave.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got to see Indestructible Felithar. Thanks for the map token.
You're welcome. I block with my lifelinker, by which I mean your lifelinker.
Past this because I otherwise I just have to.
Good card.
And...
That deck's looking kind of slim over there.
Yeah. This doesn't kill Cotus though, and you're gonna get a lot.
You'll get some things.
So today
You'll get
I've
Enduring
learned is
Innocence.
that my deck is really good because you've beaten me up pretty thoroughly with my deck. That's what I've
That's
learned.
exactly
today.
the lesson to be learned. I mean, I'm not going to kill you with your deck. I'm just killing you with Cotus and with
It's true.
my
Well,
stuff
you're gonna
attached to
mill
it.
me out once you hit me, which I'm gonna let you do because it'll be funny. Carrot Cake's
Yeah,
a cool card in this deck too.
Can I prevent lethal damage? Is there a way that I can just deal you 8 or 9 or 10?
I would have.
8 or 9 damage.
You get a 1/1
I think
blocker.
there is. No, blockers are not going to do much.
Well, if you have trample, I can make
Yeah.
it. No, that didn't. That was a miss.
13.
You've got to
I
find a
can't
way.
just like unequip things, right?
Not unless you find another creature somewhere.
Well, I can do that.
Because for the sake of Jank, you have to mill me out by exiling my deck. You understand this, right?
But I have to hit you for exactly 7, 8, or 9. Okay.
All right.
Well, let's start by getting the
figure it out.
creature.
This is a puzzle. This is a puzzle. Let's solve it.
All right. Well, I can make the creature. Defend the rider.
Okay. There's a creature. Now,
All right.
unequip things.
Okay. If I unequip Everflame,
Yep.
Cotus should go down by 4 power. So he'd be 10 power.
And you're not going to want double strike. That'll be a problem.
Oh yeah, I don't want double strike either.
Do you have a way of
Why
destroying
do I feel like
an
you're
attack?
trying to get me to lose the game?
No.
Okay,
If you
okay.
hit me, I don't have a way. Look, I'm tapped out. Like, you just need to hit me and not kill me. We got to make it happen.
I think taking a Fire Shrieker because of it's giving 1 power because of the power suit.
9. I think that's it, right?
9. Okay, but if you block everything, then you take.
Oh, that's right.
6.
He's not flying. He's not flying. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
I have a solution to that too.
This is premium content.
Now, if you block everything, you'll still take 8, and if you block nothing,
I could just block
no,
nothing.
if you block everything, you'll take 7. If you block nothing, you'll take 9, and both of those are numbers which mill you out but don't kill you.
Right.
So I think that's what we're doing.
Perfect.
This is, Evidently very important, folks.
It's gonna,
Mill victory with Cotus.
we gotta see it happen. I was dead anyway.
I suppose my margins were a little better because blocking means you draw one card. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at your hand while we're at it. I'm gonna endure. I'm gonna be insatiable, and I'm not. That's fine. I'm gonna cast this dragon that I don't want you to have.
Oh, you could force me to draw now. With Insatiable.
Oh.
No, that would
mana?
kill
I guess
me.
I
That would
do.
kill me. No, it would do 3 damage to me. Don't do that. Do that. Yeah!
Cotus Mill.
I've never been so happy to die.
Never.
Jank.
Not even to your own copied Twin Flame
Okay,
cards?
you're right. No, okay, that still beats that to this day. Oh man, that feels like so long ago now. I can't believe we've been doing this.
It
since
was so long
February.
ago. That was like
Oh, my
episode
word.
3
Man, can
or
you
4 or
believe we've
something.
made a new deck every week since February? That's insane. Absolutely insane. We're mad lads. That's what
It's fun.
are.
Mad lads. All right. Let's have a bonus game.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, back to standard, folks. Any suggestions in the chat?
I try
what we wanna
Ancestral
play?
Power, which is basically the same deck except standard.
If you want.
No. You don't have an alchemy deck, do you?
No.
Okay. I just recently made an Abzan alchemy deck just because I love Abzan. Let's see.
All right, I've got to play something big and rampy. This Voltron
I
aggro
have
thing
a
is not
budget
me.
Yigra Pioneer deck finally. I didn't craft any of the rares. I just replaced them with less good standard cards that I had.
I only have one Pioneer deck. It's mono green. It's reasonably good, even though it's not quite up to date.
What else I got? Ooh, I have a Sultai deck, Ben. You remember Mulch Pile? Do you have an Abzan deck?
Yeah.
That'd be funny. You probably have an Abzan deck.
I don't think I have an Abzan deck ready to roll yet. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just looking at some of these old janks that I just haven't played in a while. I could bring back the Silly Goose, the Mother's Day special.
We better choose soon.
Did you pick one?
I'm playing something big and rampy. I'm
and
going to
rampy?
try to pick something that doesn't just destroy what you do.
Big and rampy. Let's see. I think it's time to bring back Helga's Friends. It's been a while since we visited her. Let's do that. It's a band.
Okay, I'm going to play Dragon Gang because
Now,
some of your
notably,
creatures should be able to
the
outscale it.
thing about Helga's Friends is that this deck my jank has improved quite a bit since I last played this. Nah, this is fine. This will be fine. That's a cool deck. Let's play this. Okay, I'm gonna bring back Helga's Friends. Why? Because on this Brawl special, I'm gonna play that. Remember that time I built a Brawl deck, but it was standard? Helga's Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, I've never built Helga as a Brawl deck, but now I kind of want to.
Folks, let us know in the comments which Final Fantasy card
Okay,
you're looking forward to playing as a commander. Whether in Brawl or actual commander.
I don't have an answer because I don't know very many Final Fantasy cards, because in card games I always intentionally avoid all spoilers possible, so that the first time I see a card is when it's played against me or I am playing it.
Alright, you can say names, folks. You can say names of cards, but don't tell Albino Cheese Monkey what they do. Do all
That's
you
right.
want in my video, though. Comment on my video.
I have played a little bit of the very early game of Final Fantasy 14. I played Final Fantasy 1 through 3 on my Game Boy as a kid. And that's about it.
I might be down to try one.
If
some of the
anyone
old
wants to
ones.
take a shot at guessing my exact age after I said I played Final Fantasy 1 through 3 on my Game Boy as a kid, you can go ahead.
I don't think I know your exact age. I'd get close, but
It wasn't when they came out, obviously. It was whenever they came to Game Boy Pocket. Or Color, Game Boy Color. Or was it Game Boy Advance?
beans, the magical fruit.
I think the most sus thing in this deck is I probably haven't updated the mana base since I finally finished my rare lands collection.
Yeah, the mana base in this deck wasn't great either. Hey, that's a cool card. Forests, forests, and more forests.
What deck am I playing, Ben? I forgot that by name.
Helga's friends.
No, what deck am I playing against?
Oh, Dragon Gang.
Oh, okay. You like that deck?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm playing it.
Makes sense.
Okay, what do we do here, folks? We obviously want to play one of these two things, but need more mana before we do. Does this do anything? Maybe. Yeah, it'll do something. What's it going to do? I don't know yet, but we'll find out.
I really do like that that island art you got going on there. What set is that? Alheim?
I don't know. Okay, so we can get one of these. I'm not too enthused about, honestly. Okay, let's see if our sideboard is anything useful.
I think, Ben, notably, this deck, Skykeeper Serpent in this deck was the first Aether Drift card featured on stream. So
I think we just get this to protect
that.
our
I'm becoming a jank
stuff.
historian.
Which was the first Aether Drift card?
This one,
Skykeeper
Skykeeper Serpent.
Oh, yeah.
In this deck specifically.
That's true.
Let's get some wild guides. They are quite tender. Uh-oh.
They are young, they are tender, they are nice.
If I was playing a snake deck, that would take on a whole new meaning, wouldn't it? Tender, get it? I'm making a joke about how the snake eats things, yeah.
Alright.
Sound off. What's your favorite calamity beast, everybody? Bloomborough friends. Obviously mine is Rottenmouth Viper. And my second favorite is Lumra. Oh. There goes everything. Let's keep playing stuff. Ben, does Dragon Lords do graveyard stuff? I can't remember.
No graveyards. Well, technically a little bit, but not really. Well, that's a good card. I wish I hadn't just thrown away my Pick Your Poison. Four, 5, 6, 7 mana. Okay, we didn't need that. Splonk. Stick. There's a stick. Our opponent has something to do.
Oh, sorry. No, you're good. Dang it, I was trying to fake that it was a trigger on my field, but I don't have any of those.
Beans.
What a wonderful fruit.
The best. The best
more
card.
you play, the more you draw.
I had, the other day, I had someone play 4 beanstalks. Just like, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5.
I was asking. I'm not actually sure why I was running. I think this card was new to me at the time, and I was like, oh, that's a cool land. You don't get.
You get some green and blue mana.
It's true.
Yeah. But yes, person who played 4 beans, they were playing Domain. They milled out quite quickly and predictably. Don't do that, folks. 1 beans is great. 2 beans, usually good. 3 beans, probably too much. 4 beans is just asking to die. Wow, you're really skulking there.
It's true. I wanted the beans.
All right, so that's 6 toughness.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play a song that never ends.
What does X equal on her, Rennie?
I don't know. At least 6. I think it's actually 7, which would be perfect.
X is the number of lands. Okay.
So I guess it was 7
see,
in
that one
case.
doesn't give me the cards when it dies like Market-Back Walker does. But Market-Back Walker is more expensive. The double X.
It gives you cards very slowly, 1 per turn,
White and black.
as you attack.
5, 6, 7, 8. Do I have enough for that? I do.
No, for what?
Dang it. Ah, I think I'm 1 short.
You need 8 mana to deal with your any?
No, to do something silly with your any. The difference.
You don't run Doppelgang in your deck, do you?
Not in this one, no. A creature.
Oh, it's a copy. Oh, okay, it's Mockingbird.
Yeah.
It's Mockingbird.
So I need to pay X equals 7 or 8 mana total, and I think I'm 1 short.
Yes.
All right, that would have been silly.
Yeah, Urani's kind of hard for my deck to deal with. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 8 mana. What does 8 mana do? Unfortunately, I don't know if I have much time to do the fun stuff.
I never drew one of the 4 copies of the deck's namesake here.
I kind of don't care if you have a counterspell.
How much did you spend for that?
Just 8. What do we want to grab?
You'll be glad to know I get doppelganked on ladder to death about once a week now.
Really? Moving up in the world. I like getting doppelganked to death as far as, losing goes. It's a lot more fun than losing to aggro.
You gotta kind of keep a record, right? So that whenever you get doppelganked, I just came up with a new term. Did you catch that?
Doppelganked?
Doppelganked. Whenever somebody casts doppeljank for the win. Well, I'm just dead.
I guess.
I don't really have anything, so...
Urani's hard to deal with.
If I had 1 more mana, if I had drawn a land, I'd be able to copy it, and that would have been silly, but I didn't get there, so...
I shouldn't have played Urani. Alas.
Why not? You won the game.
Because I wanted to win the game with Doppelgang!
What is this sideboard? Past me? Oh, how the jank has grown.
What is this deck? Past me?
You just built that deck a week or 2 ago. What are you talking about?
This deck? No, not this deck.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Dragon Gang.
Oh, this is Dragon Gang, but you're thinking of the Golgari Dragon deck.
I do have a lot
Dank
of
Dragon Lords.
artifacts and enchantments there. Maybe that is what we should do.
Oh, this seems like a good spell. That might be a good spell. These could be fine. Yeah. This will be great. All right, folks. Hope you're enjoying this Teamer ramp deck, focusing on the Doppelgang as of endless value win condition. Versus my opponent's Helga Creatures 4 or Greater and X Spells deck. Is this the first deck you ran up the beanstalk in?
Might be. I don't remember. This one was pretty early. This one was about a week after Aether Drift release, if I remember correctly. Turn 1 elves, you're done for.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Best opener a green deck can do.
I'm going to turn 1 Sagu Wildling.
I like that card.
Me too. I've really grown on it in my Dank Dragon Lords deck. I'm running 4 copies there and a low land count and beans, and it's good in for all those reasons. It gets you lands, fixes your colors.
You know what's better than a Llanowar Elf?
2 Llanowar Elves.
A Llanowar Elf that flies.
It is. It's a flying bird. Is everyone excited for birds coming to Standard in Final Fantasy? There's going to be more birds.
I'm excited about that. I have a bird. I've been wanting to build a bird deck. I didn't know that.
Now you might be able to, because there's flightless birds coming to Standard. And, there's already cards in Standard that are birds.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, finally a reason to play all those cards that are like creatures without flying, but you're like, but it's a bird deck. Why would I have a creature without flying?
Yes, now you can have birds without flying.
That was so frustrating for me. All right, I'm just going to go for it before you can ramp. 1, 2, 3. I got to get aggressive.
It's a good card. I'm going to ramp. Not ramping too fast, though.
Thankfully, it is a 4 power creature.
Got a trampling flying Landwar elf druid bird.
I see no reason. Well, let's see. Going with that, but I'll hold up the elves.
Beans.
Right, you can't have 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta save you from yourself, Ben. Sometimes you get drunk on value, you know?
Well, we drew all of that card in our deck. We don't need more. We didn't even want any of those, honestly. I'll have you sack an enchantment.
Okay.
But I'm in a bit of trouble because I'm missing land drops now. Can't miss land drops in a ramp deck.
I actually am just gonna go all in here.
Yeah, you're presenting lethal next turn.
I have yet to cast a Helga. I've yet to draw a Helga in my.
Alright, ill-timed explosion, folks. It was not. Our hand is not technically uncastable, but basically uncastable. I'm going to show you that I can cast this Doppelgang for 0.
You're gonna get some wild guides. Oh, okay.
No, Doppelgang for 0. Copy 0 permanents 0 times.
Alright, nothing fancy. I'm just gonna go in.
Alright,
like
Hydra gets it done.
You bricked.
I had all my Dragonback Assaults in hand, and Ureni, and 2 Doppelgangs, and Ugin, Eye of the Storms. So all my finishers. I think that is literally all my finishers.
Let's see if I.
Yeah, there's one dot. That's literally all my finishers. Oh my goodness.
Let's see if I can actually get a Helga this time.
All right, folks. We need more of these, and maybe one less of these.
Now that I'm playing this deck, this would be a good regen candidate. I already see some improvements I could make to it.
Yeah, definitely. There's a good land coming in Final Fantasy for 3-color decks.
I think this was my first 3-color deck.
Does his hand do anything? Potentially not.
Oh,
It's
Ben.
better.
I've got
That's
something
me.
in my hand you might be excited about, but it's going to take a while.
Is it Doppelgang?
No. I don't
Is it Genesis Wave?
I've just been converted to Genesis Wave. In what deck did I play with Genesis Wave last time? 23 decks. Sometimes it's getting harder to track.
Yeah, this is episode 23, folks. So if you're enjoying this, we've got a backlog on our channels of 22 episodes before this. Of janky, standard, and standard Brawl goodness to enjoy.
Just pick the viewpoint you want and watch it. We're not greedy for views here.
Does this crowd look very green to you? You see a very green
You're
crowd.
right. I mean, you've been on this theory for a while, and I have almost convinced me. That is a lot of.
This is an exceptionally green crowd.
This is an exceptionally green crowd.
And we're both playing green decks.
We are both playing green
Mine's
decks.
quite green heavy.
That one wants a forest or an island. Okay, well, I don't have either, so. I do have Bant, though. Oh, here's a new card. Let's get Troyan in here.
Oh, gutsy.
It's like a less. It's Helga Light.
Oh, we should not have played that. Oh yeah, we were punished for playing that. Oops, folks. My bad. I should have played this first. Or this into this. Opponent practically has 6 mana. What are we going to do about that?
Cast spells with mana value 5 or greater. Mana spells with X in their cost. Think about what I want to do here. Okay. Let's do this. This is my favorite mana dork, as I've said before.
Your wild guide's so tender.
They are.
You
think this card would be better if it was 1 mana offspring? I guess it would. 1 mana add mountain mana of any color would be broken. Don't do that. That was a bad idea. 2, 3, 4.
What spell with X in your mana cost do you have? Do you have one of those X cost counter spells? I'm gonna feel really silly if you do. Oh, is it Repulsive Mutation? It must be Repulsive Mutation.
Yeah. I don't actually think I can cast it, though. Oh, I've got to click your spell. Sorry. Do I not have enough to do this? Oh, no, wait. I can cast it for 0, right? It'll still work if I cast it for 0.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at the card and know for sure, but I think
put
you
0
can.
counters on it. Oh, yeah. I have to click your spell. Oh, I suck at counter spells. I didn't click your spells as your spell as the thing to counter. Whoops. Look away, please, everybody. Okay, look
Don't
back
look
now.
At me. Don't look at me.
Idiots.
Repulsive, one might say.
Well, let's start building back.
This is why I played a lot of rampy mana creatures when I first started playing Magic, and now I don't anymore.
Why is that?
They get board wiped.
Oh yeah,
and you die.
True. But I feel like there aren't a lot of great mana rocks, so.
Well, you don't play mana rocks; you play land ramp effects. Like that,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
and that.
Makes sense.
These lands entering untapped is pretty nice. I will risk a second beans, folks. Living on the edge.
All right.
Man, you were gonna get me good with that Repulsive Mutation.
I was gonna if only I knew how the card worked. All right, I'm gonna get me one of those.
Acceptable. Mockingbird draws off beans if you cast it like that. All right, how do we want to do this? So we can do this. That's pretty good. Do we care about your beans?
You ever look at Hauntwood's spindly little legs? Oh, look!
It's
got tiny little arms too. I never noticed that before.
It's got tiny little arms. Yeah, it's like a chunky looking card, but then we look at it, it's just kind of like scraggling around.
Kind of unsettling.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Ooh, good.
He's in this deck. What?
He's in the sideboard because sometimes you need exile removal because Teamer isn't very good at doing that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need more cards. I'm gonna play this forest. I'm gonna play this cornucopia so ancient. I'm gonna, I guess, find some lands. I'm going to torch your tower. Does your deck run get lost?
Nope. I don't think I owned it when I built this deck, and I haven't updated this deck since I built it. So. Takin.
That's a good card. I think the good news for you is I don't know that we have any ways to trigger Ugin besides himself.
There she is.
Hey, your commander deck drew your commander.
That's right.
Alright, what do we want to do here?
For those
I think
who
now
aren't
I could
aware,
use another card.
Helga is a bat card made for Commander very clearly that I decided to make a standard deck out of because don't tell me what to do. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card, gain 1 life, and get a counter. Then Helga is a mana dork when she's alive. I was reading that, Ben. Didn't right click on it. And you
make some dragons.
A mana dork that gives mana equal to her power, but it can only be used to cast creature spells that are mana value 4 or greater or with X in the cost. Lots of X cost creatures in this deck, in case you haven't noticed.
Oh, sexy, exy creatures.
That's right. Alright. That card's not going to help me, but I really kind of want to cast it just so that you can see it's there.
Oh, yeah, I probably should be playing around your counter spells. Oops.
What's he do again?
Win the game.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Kind of has to for a 7 mana planeswalker.
Yeah. I don't actually know that I have anything good that I could do here. So what I'm gonna do is, for no reason at all, I'm just gonna cast Monkey so that I can show you I have it. Yay! That's the first.
Monkey.
That's my first cast of Monkey in Jank-Off.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Public thoroughfare again. This was one of my only like budget flexible mana cost lands back in the day. Again, I haven't updated this deck, so that would not make the final cut were I to rejank this. Public thoroughfare, though, has an extremely silly and fun synergy with the hacksaw slasher from Duskmourn.
Unstoppable Slasher?
Unstoppable. No. The lady that whenever you sacrifice something,
right.
she does 1 damage to something. See, all you got to do is it's optional. It says unless you tap an untapped artifact in your land, you can choose not to. Free sack. That's 1 free damage. 0 mana, deal 1 damage. Talk about value, huh? What's really fun is that in that Gone Logging deck, you bring it back from the graveyard every turn. So. And then it goes back in the graveyard.
Dragons?
What I don't understand is how my health was still at 20 at that point.
Oh, because this isn't the combo version.
Oh, right.
This is just the accrue value and kill with dragons.
Should I destroy the enchantment or should I destroy the creature with flying? Let's destroy an enchantment. It's bigger. Let's... 3, 4, 5. Nope, that was the wrong. Funny enough, actually, if I cast this for 0, I could get a dragon. That might actually be better, because then I can still have the mana open. I have a dragon.
Hey.
That cost me 1 blue mana.
I think you are still dead on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think I think I took my combo card out of the deck, so I don't think I have any immediate fun way to kill you, unfortunately. Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're not dead on board. Alright, let's figure out how to make him dead. This will probably draw something. I forgot I only had 1 beanstalk now. This will probably draw something. I mean, dragons are nice.
They are.
This might draw something. Oh, that doesn't. I think folks, I had another way to do it also in hand. See if you can figure out what it was. But we'll just do this.
Oop.
Yay, teamer value. More dragons. More life.
4 times
Loon by
4.
Regent does go really hard.
4 by 4. 4 times 4 is 16, which is more than 12.
You are successful at mathematics.
I have done it. Not one. I won at math.
You did. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed.
Fun bonus games. I got one.
And I hope you enjoyed the Brawl Off, which we didn't do Jank Awards. Kotis won the Power Jank, which he's a pretty powerful commander when you build Voltron, which isn't surprising. Who got the Jank Award?
I think you did, probably. I mean, my deck was just kind of like a pile of value cards. It wasn't really that janky, just kind of fun.
You're probably right, although Season of the Burrow on Felothar is pretty dang cool.
Yeah, it's not the point of the deck, though. It's just something I can do.
No.
But it's kind of hard to make something like that the point of the deck in Standard Brawl when, you know, that's...
When you're in singleton format,
yeah. You're in a singleton format, but maybe I should build around that. Who knows? I think
all right, folks, tell us what...
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say
Tell us what card you're looking for in Final Fantasy.
Yep.
In the comments. We'll be back next week. We stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 p.m. UTC. We're back with standard brews, maybe including new Final Fantasy cards when we resume next week.